What are you working on? Brought to you by Dake. If you have the dream, we have the tools.
Today's What Are You Working On comes from Jeff Meyer from Ottawa, Ohio, and his project is a 69 Olds 442 convertible. Take a look at this thing. Now, the picture actually makes it look a little worse than it is. It was a better car than that. Take a look at the floors of this thing unrestored. Now take a look at the shot of the floors restored. Man, that thing looks like it's brand new. Now, while Jeff had the body off of the frame, he decided to restore the frame. So here's a shot of the frame with the engine in it. As you can see, it looks like the day it rolled off the showroom floor. Now, the cool thing about this is who Jeff has helping him on the car. Now, as you can see, this is a shot of his suspension specialist. And here is his engine and transmission builders. And then, of course, the interior expert. He is ready to go. Then, of course, here is Jeff himself fitting the doors and doing some work under the hood. Now, the cool thing is, obviously, these are Jeff's kids, but he says his philosophy on this is that he wants to encourage his kids to help because he wants them to appreciate classic cars for many years and understand how cars are put together. Jeff, I promise you, they will never forget this. Now, Jeff, looking at these pictures of your shop, it looks like you could use some more tools. So, we hooked up with our buddies at Dake, and we are going to give you an arbor press, not only to help you with this project, but with all the other projects that you've got coming toward you. Now, the rest of you guys, if you want to get involved with the show here, you got to show us what you're working on. Go to stacydavid.com, go to the What Are You Working On page, and show us what you got. And we will do our best to get it on the air. All right, that does it for today. We will see you next week.
What are you working on? Brought to you by Dake. If you have the dream, we have the tools.
Today's What Are You Working On comes from Jim Stevens from Stockton, Missouri. And Jim had a problem. Now, here's a picture of Jim and his problem. He had a supercharged Chrysler Hemi, and he needed a project to put it in. Now, Jim's not your average guy, so he didn't want just the typical hot rod. So he stuck that massive engine into a 1968 Volkswagen Squareback. Here's a shot if you don't know what that looks like. Yeah. Now, of course, nothing about this is going to fit, so Jim had to completely build a chassis. Here's a shot of the chassis underneath the car. Now, he built his own frame rails out of 2x3 tubing. He's got a Mustang 2 style front end in it. He's got a narrowed Ford 9-inch in the rear and big old huge Mickey Thompson tires stuffed in the back. Now, he says that this has been a little bit of a nightmare, but Jim's loved every minute of it. Now, the body, they didn't just leave that stock. Here's a shot of Jim and a buddy working on the body. They've chopped it 3 inches. The rear quarter windows have been filled in to make it a panel. The doors are suicided and all kinds of other stuff. Now, Jim sums it up best with this quote: "Patience and perseverance and a little know-how will help you do whatever you can dream up." Jim, we couldn't have said it any better ourselves. So, to help you finish this project, we are going to give you one of these Dake arbor presses so you've got the right tool when you need to put some pressure on something. Now, the rest of you guys, if you want to get your project featured on the show, send it in to the What Are You Working On part of the website. Make sure you send pictures of you and the vehicle. We want to see what you look like, and we'll see if we can get it on the air. Now, if you don't have a full-size project, make sure that you're entering the Revell Model Building Contest so you can show us what you can do in small scale. All right, takes care of it for us today. You need to get out there and start working on something.
What are you working on? Brought to you by Dake. If you have the dream, we have the tools.
Today's What Are You Working On comes from Cindy Dayton, and she is from Sparks, Nevada. Now, her vehicle is a 1963 Ford Ranchero. Here's a shot of Cindy with the Ranchero at a car show. Now, you know that she didn't start out with a vehicle that looked that good. Oh, matter of fact, here's what it looked like. As you can see, it came with all the free junk in the back and the optional camper shell. Now, obviously, she had some big plans for this car, and that is where this guy comes in. This is Drake. This is her husband. Now, he's a professional body man, and so he decided to jump into this car and help Cindy out. So the first thing he did, check it out here, he put tubs in the bed, put in a new frame, a fuel cell, check out the custom exhaust system, the rear end, put in a front suspension, and then he went to the interior. You can see the seats are new, the dash is new, he's got a whole roll cage in this thing. He has done some serious work on this car. Then the motor was just an old beat-up 289. They punched it to a 347 stroker. They put a stick in it. Here's a shot of that. Now, they've been working on this project for 8 years, and it's still not finished yet. But as you can see from this picture, it's finished enough to where it's running and driving to where they can take it out to shows and enjoy it. But the best part about this is we have got a husband and wife team here that haven't killed each other, which that alone is worth the prize. So, folks, we are going to give you one of these Dake arbor presses, so when you hit some pressing matters on this project, you got the tool to take care of it. Now, for the rest of you guys, if you want to get your project featured on the show, send some stuff in to the What Are You Working On part of the website. Let us know what you got. It doesn't have to be finished. It just has to be something that you're working on, and we'll see if we can get it on the air. All right, that takes care of it for today. It is time for you to get out there and start working on something. We'll see you next week.
What are you working on? Brought to you by Dake. If you have the dream, we have the tools.
Today's What Are You Working On comes from Joey Burnside from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Joey is a serious gearhead, which makes him just like all of you out there. What makes him different than you guys out there is he is only 8 years old, and he has submitted his dad's truck for What Are You Working On. Now check it out. Here it is the day Dad brought it home. It's a 2007 Chevy Duramax, and the first thing that father and son did is tear into this truck. Now here's a shot of them, father and son putting on a whole bunch of Gelbanks performance stuff. Then of course they tore off the front bumper. Here they are tearing the truck apart up there. And then of course they put on a 6-inch lift kit. And when all the smoke cleared, here is what they ended up with. That is a great looking truck. Now you're probably looking at that going, well, what do they do with it? Just sit there and look at it? Oh, Joe Sr. drives the truck all the time. Here he is out on a drag strip wearing it out. Here he is off-road. And as you can see, little Joey is never far from his side. Matter of fact, Joey writes in and says, over the years, my dad has taught me how to work on vehicles, so I wanted to see if it was possible to feature his truck on the show. Well, Joey, it is possible. Matter of fact, here's what we're going to do for you. We are going to give you one of these Dake arbor presses, so the next time your dad's working on his truck, needs to press in some bearings or bushings or something like that, he's got to ask you to use the press. Now, the rest of you guys, if you want to get your vehicle featured on the show, you got to go to stacydavid.com, send some pictures and texts in to What Are You Working On, and we'll do our best to get it on the air. All right, that does it for us today. I know you got some stuff to work on, so get out there and build something.